Hi, folks. Today, I want to share a model that I've been working on. Because we're using AI so much in cybersecurity, I use it in my writing. I use it in my projects, my cybersecurity projects, in my day to day stuff. To count the calories in my meals. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. So, and what I'm noticing with the other folks who use it as well and whose work that I review is that we really need to, number one, understand what this is. And I'm not going to really get into that in this video because I just want to show you this model, but understand what it is so that we can know how to use it, and what its function actually is. So what I've done here is I've aligned the AI with Bloom's taxonomy. Now, for those of you who are in learning and development and who create courses and stuff like that, you may know what Bloom's taxonomy is. You see it here. It's basically the stages of learning. Okay. So I have Bloom's taxonomy in the middle, visible output on the right. We're not really going to get into that too much because I want to concentrate on this AI prompt stuff on the left. So now, Bloom says that it begins with remember. We recall facts and basic concepts. So we go to a class, a course, a training, watch a video, whatever, and we recall facts and concepts. We're not really doing anything. We're really listening and looking. Okay. And then we might take a test or something to ask us, well, what's 1 + 1 or whatever? What's the capital of Virginia? And we'll recall that. We'll recall that fact. Well, AI, we're not really remembering anything, okay, because the tool is doing that. The data is in there and it's, doing that. However, we do have to prompt it or ask it a question or give it a task or something like that, okay? So that's where that starts in the AI realm, all right? Now, next is we give AI a prompt and then it gives us a response that we now have to interpret. Now, listen to this. AI never gives you an answer, ever. You never get an answer from it. We got to remember this. This is very important. It never gives you an answer. It only gives you a response, okay? Because, and this is what I mean why you have to understand what it is. It's a data set. It's got like a whole bunch of information already in there. So it's pulling from this stuff and predicting the next thing it's going to say based on all of this data. That's not an answer. Okay, that's a response that you're getting. A calculator gives you an answer. Okay, AI doesn't. Even if you ask AI what's 1 + 1, 2 is a response. It's not an answer like it would be with a calculator. Okay, and I wrote about this on my LinkedIn, so that's all out there. Okay, next is connect. So we get the response back from AI. Okay. And now we need to align it with the context. Now, this really depends on your prompt. This is why prompting is so important with AI. You really have to have a really good prompt in there. And prompting comes with practice. Okay. You're not just going to get it, the first time or whatever. You really have to practice. And what I like to do, I think what accelerates your prompting or your ability to do good prompts is if you talk to it. Okay. So now I know chat, and I believe, I don't know, Gemini too, they have the little button you can press for audio. So you can talk to it and it'll just, type out what you're saying versus you sitting there typing stuff. Okay. So if you have the ability to talk your prompt, like a conversation, the way I'm talking right now, then do that because that will help your prompting. And another thing that I tell people to do is after every prompt you give AI, ask it, do you have any questions before you give me a response? Do you understand this question or do you understand what I'm asking you for? Actually say that, okay, before you press enter, because sometimes it'll ask for more information before it gives you a response. All right. Don't just assume it knows what's in your head. It doesn't know anything anyway. All right. It's a program. But you get what I'm saying. Go ahead and ask that question so that once you get to connect and you have to align the response with what you actually asked for, that'll be a more efficient and effective process right there. Okay. Now you need to distinguish, is what it gave you hallucination or fact? Is it something that this thing just made up and sounds true, or is it fact? Now, I just wrote a Salesforce Trailhead article about this. There are so many cases out there where people have asked chat for something and just cut and paste. Okay, because listen, it sounds good. It sounds true. I mean, even attorneys have done this, and ended up the case law was totally made up. I mean, totally made up. So you have to distinguish what's real and what isn't in the response that it gave you. All right. It's very easy to just cut and paste. It's so easy to do that. But I mean, that's fine if you're making, an apple pie or something like that, whatever, in your own kitchen, and you're the one who's going to eat it. Okay. And it told you to put salt instead of sugar or something like that. And you went ahead and did that, because AI said it, so it must be true. No, we're not going to do that on the job. Okay. We can't do that on the job. We need to be able to distinguish and analyze and do our own research to make sure that what we're getting is actually accurate. Okay. This thing, this program, this AI, it's really, really useful if we use it right. If we don't use it right, it's going to make you look crazy. Okay. And listen, I'm using the word hate here. I hate when I ask somebody, okay, what does this mean? And they tell me, oh, I don't know. That's what ChatGPT gave me. Child, if I listen, don't do that. Do you know how idiotic that sounds? That's what ChatGPT gave me. That sounds crazy as hell. Don't do that. Okay. Especially on the job. Do that at home with your kids and your husband and your wife and your friend and all. Do not do that on the job, okay? Because that'll make you look real crazy. I'm telling you right now, you look real crazy if you say some stuff like that. So what does that mean then? That means you need to look at that stuff. So when somebody asks you a question, you can answer. And that's what ChatGPT gave me. It's not going to come out of your mouth, and make people look at you like you nuts. All right. So the next one is distill. So now you want to distinguish, okay, what's real, what's not, what I need to change. And this is something that you can actually tell chat. So while you're in there, listen, that's not true. Or, the research doesn't say this, okay, so that it can correct itself. All right. And when you're doing your prompting, again, this goes back to really good prompting. But you still need to check. But in your prompting, you can say stuff like, only give me what can be cited. Like cite this reference or whatever this is you're saying, cite where this is coming from. And you can even say, I only want peer-reviewed research. Don't give me no blogs and, and all this other stuff. No. I want peer-reviewed research. But like I said, the good prompting comes with practice. So you got to do that. Don't just get these 99-cent or free prompting books off of Kindle or Amazon or whatever and feel like that's the way to go. No, just do what I'm telling you to do. Okay. Go into chat, hit the audio thing and talk to it. All right. Because that'll really get you there faster. And talk the same way I'm talking to you right now. Just go ahead and talk to the thing. All right. All right. Now, after distill, we're going to originate, synthesize something new. Now, let me tell you something. I see a lot of stuff from people where they're talking about, how ChatGPT is giving them stuff that's, copyrighted and it's not original work and blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. Let me tell you something. I watched this movie. Now, when I heard that, or I read that, actually, somebody wrote about that on LinkedIn, and some of that is true. It's 100% true. But you have to understand this. I looked at this movie called, oh my goodness, Flash of Genius with Greg Kinnear. He played the character of this Kearns guy. I forget his first name, but his last name was Kearns. Okay. And he was the inventor of the intermittent windshield wiper. It's a true story. Okay. It's called Flash of Genius. He's the inventor of the intermittent windshield wiper. Now, what happened was he went to Ford to present them with his invention. Okay. And they said, okay, yeah, like we want to do it. But the only thing was he wanted to manufacture it. Ford didn't want him to manufacture it. Okay. So what they did, they were real sneaky and dirty. All right. They made him believe he was going to manufacture it. They got from him his specs. They got the way he built it and all that stuff. And then they canceled the contract. So like maybe I think in the movie it was like 18 months later or something like that, when he was walking from home or walking somewhere, he saw a Ford car with that intermittent windshield wiper. Nobody else had that. Windshield wipers were just going back and forth, back and forth. There was no way to regulate it. You know how right now we can make it go slow or fast or in the middle. There was none of that. It was just one back forth, back forth, back forth. So then he went to the car show and all this. So what I'm saying, so he went to court to sue them to say, hey, listen, this is my invention. And what they tried to say was, this is not your invention. Like, this is something that we did because transistors already are there. What and those all those other parts that he used to make this intermittent windshield wiper. So what he said was he brought out the book A Tale of Two Cities, which I love. I love A Tale of Two Cities. And he had the guy read the first part, like it was the best of times, it was the worst of times, or I think that's from Tales of Two Cities, whatever it was. And what he said was, listen, Charles Dickens wrote this book and he went through every word. He said, it is the word it in the dictionary. The guy was like, yes. Was in the dictionary. Yes. The. And he went on and on because what he was saying was, listen, every single word in this book, A Tale of Two Cities, is in the dictionary. Does that mean I'm guilty of copyright infringement because all the words in this book are in the dictionary? No, that's not. And we know that's ridiculous, isn't it? So what we do is we rearrange those words into a totally different pattern. Okay. Same thing with painting. Nobody invented a color. All the same colors Picasso used, other artists use. Does that mean they're copyrighting Picasso because they use green too? Absolutely not. And that's we have to really, that's why I said in the very beginning of this video, you got to understand what AI is. Okay. If you don't understand it, then look at it yourself. Go look for some peer-reviewed stuff. Look for images so you can see what it is, so you can understand it better, so that when people come to you with nonsense, it's nonsense. All right. Whether that's AI coming to you with nonsense or some human animal coming to you with nonsense, you're able to distinguish, distill, and originate. Okay. And that's what this is about. So that's this video. And this is now I'm using this for my Future Kings nonprofit stuff, but I'm going to use it for other stuff too. But I just wanted to show it to y'all because it's one of the things that I've been working on and developing. But I'm going to post a video where I'm actually prompting AI so you can see, and I use this to help me in my prompting so you can see exactly what that looks like. All righty. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. I'll see you back here later. Bye.